Is it working now?
The dangerous object. Yeah.
No, there's no danger, don't worry.
No danger.
No danger.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Dear and beloved audience, and may I call you dear friends, it's a great opportunity to be here with you as an MVT, but also as one person representing an institution involved into organizing our today meeting and also the meetings that will come. In any case, I, together with Mr. Mark Donfried, I picked up this argument. It might be interesting for you as it is for me, because I'm not only a historian and university professor. We all need to have a job, right? But I'm also especially a novelist. I like literature, I must confess. Well, I would begin anyway as a professor saying that I think culture is what separates man from his animal condition. Not always, but sometimes at least. And also I would define democracy as the thing what keeps man distant from inequality and also solitude. I love to be by myself for some hours, but solitude is not good. It's very good to be together with you right now. So, from this point of view, culture and democracy build together a specific environment that has as target a better life for the human being, regarded as part of a certain type of society and community. EU is a community of ideas and values, rejoining different people and states around this table of values. Therefore, by European culture, we have reasons to understand, on the first place, these ideas, values, ideals, and the cultural products connected to this agenda. One of the main values of the European table of values is democracy, I think. EU tries to develop the culture of democracy, but also the democracy of culture, in my view. What might be the culture of democracy? I would say that liberté, égalité, fraternité, and the human rights, politique, la Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme, remains of capital importance. Some other very important ideas came, of course, later, like protection of nature and of disappearing animal and vegetal species, protection of minorities' rights, and so on. These values concern not only the development and the spreading of them all around EU, but also artistic creativity and cultural products, cultural industries development. The main goal in the field of arts is to make known and to make more popular a way of being in society that excludes discrimination, racism, xenophobia, marginalization or stigmatizing of the people because of the prejudices. In what concerns the democracy of culture, I would say that since in the antique Athens philosophy was born and defined as love of wisdom, culture was meant to be a practical way for making people more complex and more complete as human beings. For that reason was conceived the so-called paideia, a model of education including mainly three elements: the culture of the body in the name of beauty and health, kalos kayagathos, kalukagathia; the culture of the mind for acquiring knowledge by science, by philosophy; and the culture of the soul for a proper use of emotions, will, imagination, and creativity. Plato, Aristotle on one hand, Pythagoras on the other, split it into two parts their philosophy. The esoterical part, meant to be learned by the happy few, by the elite, and the exoterical, dedicated to everybody. The modern revolution, 1789 in France, and the 19th century brought into light the democratic ideas, democratizing also education and knowledge. The entering on the historical stage of the masses marked the need of a larger and deeper education than previously. Masses were needed to industrialization, for instance, the urban engine, I would call it. After 1789 and 1848, the masses were called to participate more, also to the public life. This trend was even more pushed forward by the next steps, La Commune de Paris, 1871, and, of course, why not, 1917, the Soviet Revolution. They helped this time by a radical rethinking of the philosophy by two, I think, great thinkers from the 19th century, Marx and Engels. They are not anymore fashionable, but they are still interesting and to be visited in history. Late in the post-war period, technological development pushed these developments even further by the invention of the computer and the internet, by the satellite communications, the mobile phones, the video movies, and so on. All these events radically changed the concept of culture and its content, the human area exposed to culture, the cultural strategies, targets, and impact. What is art in a democratic culture? The way culture looks nowadays is more an effect of science progress and of the technological stepping forward than of the ideologies, in my view. Nowadays, Dan Brown or Paulo Coelho are better known than Homer or Shakespeare, not because they are better as writers, but because they sell better their books. Hollywood became much more popular than, what do you think? Athens, of course, in her time. Nowadays, culture is very closely linked to society, to its needs in a statistic way, at a large scale. What is really interesting to be considered is the art. Art is by its originary condition universal. Art is the pure prototype of creation and of freedom. Art is to be sent mainly to souls, not to the mind. So there is no need to be rationally understood. We understand it by heart sometimes, only by heart, like, I don't know, avant-garde poetry. As artists, between all the forms of invention, the only one directed towards hearts, it has the most crucial impact on how people understand life, how they organize their inner space, and maybe on how all these will influence the public life and the social space. Homer and medieval legends on chivalry, knighthood, gave the model of the heroes and heroship. Carlyle was the philosopher in the Romanticism that thought on this. Victor Hugo spoke in Les Misérables about the fight of the poor for liberty and dignity. The avant-gardes from the beginning of the 20th century expressed a new sensibility and contributed to its development. James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake announced not only the ars combinatoria of the computer, but also a famous novel about an even more famous computer in one of the very well-known novels written by Umberto Eco. And so on. We could continue the list. Art can be defined, or redefined actually, from the perspective of its European experience linked to democracy as one of the most powerful tools in making from the dynamics of the hearts a revolutionary mean for producing and reproducing solidarity, mutual understanding, and peace all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.